Welcome back everyone to Chapter 2, Solving Linear Inequalities. Just a recap before we get started. We are still working on our two standards over here, and mainly A.REI.3b, where we can solve linear inequalities. 2.3 is solving inequalities using our multiplication or division. Now, multiplication property of inequality and division property of inequality, I'm specifically going to write up here by positive numbers. So, for example, let's say we had the inequality that -3 is less than 5. The multiplication property of inequality says that we can multiply both sides of the inequality by the same number. So let's say I choose to multiply by 3, and specifically, do you notice that that is a positive 3? So if I do that, -3 times 3 is -9, which should be less than 5 times 3 is 15. Is -9 less than 15? Yes, our inequality still holds true. What about division? Let's say 8 is greater than 2. Well, the division property of inequality says that we can divide both sides by the same number. So let's say I'm going to divide by 2, and I'm going to divide by 2. That would leave me with 4 is greater than 1, which is still true. So when we're multiplying or dividing by positive numbers, everything still works the way we would think it would work. Example 1, solve each inequality and graph the solution. So letter A, we have n divided by 7 is greater than or equal to -1. Our variable is n. We are dividing by 7. The opposite of division is multiplication, so I'm going to multiply both sides of my inequality by 7. This 7 will cancel my denominator. I'll be left with n. I leave my inequality sign exactly the same. -1 times 7 is -7. So the answer, or the solution set, is any value that is greater than or equal to -7. On our number line, you can choose where to put -7. That's up to you. Then at -7, because it's greater than or equal to, I'm going to put a closed dot, and then I'm going to shade to the right. Letter B, -6.4 is greater than or equal to 1/5 W. So again, over on the right, if I'm trying to get W by itself, 1/5 is a fraction, so really this is saying like divide by 5. The opposite of divide by 5 would be we multiply both sides by 5. The 1/5 and the 5 will cancel, and we'll be left with our W. Just drop your inequality sign exactly how you see it. Grab your calculator. 5 times -6.4 is -32. Now, in order to graph that one, again, I don't like when the variable is on the right-hand side, so I'm just going to flip it. So I'm going to put the W on the left. I'm going to flip my inequality sign so it says less than or equal to, and then I'm going to put my -32 on the right. So then in order to graph that, you can put -32 somewhere in the middle-ish, and then -31, -30, 29, 28, 27, 33, 34, 35, 36. And you don't have to number each tick mark. If you wanted to skip every other one, that's perfectly acceptable. So W is less than or equal to -32, so I'm going to put a closed dot, and then less than, I'm going to shade to the left. Letter C, -18 is greater than 1.5 Q. In order to get my Q by itself, I'm going to divide by 1.5. -18 divided by 1.5 is -12, which is greater than Q. Now again, I really don't like when my variable is over here on the right, so I'm going to put it on the left. I'm going to switch my sign to a less than, -12. I'm going to label my number line. So this time, let's say -12. This would be 11. This would be -10, 9, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if you don't want to number each and every one, that's fine. You can count by twos. Less than -12. So open dot because there's no equal to. And then it says less than. So we're going to shade to the left.